So again, a lot of interesting things to think about, especially when we look over the emails sent by the peer educators on the health aspect of smoking hookah. So again, we're going to throw that out to the panel and kind of talk about this and see what you guys think.
I would like to comment something on just what Yusuf, what he said. I mean, Yusuf is a business owner. So it's not really it's in his interest to phrase the way he talks about hookah in a positive light and to emphasize all of the really, supposedly good aspects of it. And I would argue that it would be a conflict of interest for him to speak about it in a light and look at it in a way that really shows the downside to it. I would argue that he's not necessarily out for students' best interest. He's out to make money at his business.
But let's look at it as a logical perspective. You're not going to smoke a hookah every day. It's more of culturally, it's more of like maybe once a month, maybe twice, maybe even once in a year. You smoke cigarettes every day. You have an addiction. You're not going to smoke a hookah every day. So how is that related to being equivalent to cigarettes, like at all? Because it doesn't even relate.
Well, I think that kind of goes back to the whole idea of the ban, which is whether or not you think that cigarettes are bad or you think tobacco is bad. I think it kind of goes back to the idea of the ban as to should a college tell you that you cannot consume tobacco in this manner.
When it is written
Perfectly
that
legal.
If you're 18, you're allowed to smoke tobacco.
Right. So I guess my question kind of to the panel is, how do you feel that the college is limiting this one specific way?
I first bought my hookah when I wanted to quit smoking cigarettes. That was my big thing. I wanted to quit. And with a hookah, I could go on walks. I could go with my friends, and I would sit around for an hour, and I'd smoke, and that'd be it. That'd be it for the day. And honestly, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that that now my only form of nicotine is going to be cigarettes, and that the hookah, which actually was reducing me smoking to about once a week in a tastier, more friendly way, and now it's cigarettes. It's cigarettes, or it's the patch, or it's the gum. Thanks, Barry.
Well, the gum is tastier than the patch.
Yeah,
or
no,
whatnot,
it's
but
not.
glad you're cutting back on smoking. But part of me is like maybe mitigating addiction. Like addiction in general, like is just not such a good thing. So I've just seen it take over people's lives, and I know that like when you're younger, any exposure to toxins and putting that into your body increases your risk of cancer. And smoking and exposing your body to all those chemicals that are really just aren't good for you, that increases your chances of being ill at a future date for years and years and years. I mean, they've shown, cancer studies have shown that people who quit smoking, even 15 years later, still have the effects. So
But how does getting rid of a hookah affect that whatsoever?
Well, hookahs are still nicotine. Hookahs are still you're still putting it into your body.
Right,
I mean,
but
there's
people are
so
going to
many-
get nicotine no matter what you do. It's just how you get it. and
Again,
that's
ladies,
the problem.
who's going to tell us when or where and why and how we cannot smoke something that clearly is legal government-wise, so why can it not be government,
And again, I had someone who didn't wish to be on camera actually asked to bring this point up, that they felt that a lot of the things that Barry does is based on funding or appearances, and that they were concerned that because we are a school that is very important to look pretty, put off a good face, good moral standings, that things like the GLBT group that would maybe give us not such a good light or make us look so pristine is not allowed, and that the fact that, yes, because students are seen smoking hookah around campus with this large, unusual-looking foreign object, that it might not give off the best appearance to potential sponsors, and funding might
And
not
Lord
be
knows
there.
for Barry, it's
But
all about appearance.
Let's look at the basis of a college. You're supposed to be here to experience open-mindedness, like knowledge, experience things, and by doing all these regulations, like what it's not promoting open-mindedness. It's not promoting any of this. Clearly, a safer, healthier environment at Barry College, they would regulate everything that's not safe, not healthy, and everything else that isn't.
I mean, one of the things I was talking about with my roommate right when this came up was we were like, okay, so if we're trying to encourage a healthy, safe lifestyle, does that mean we should tell people they have to go exercise a certain amount of days, or you can only get one cookie at D Hall? I mean,
Take all your healthy Butterfield
yeah,
It's getting to the point of ridiculous.
When do we draw the line and
Exactly.
say enough is enough, and I am old enough to make my own decisions?
I mean, that's true. I mean, that's why the college does have campaigns in place of having a lot, like the salad bar is always available. They've really changed. Like, I've been here for over 4 years, and I've seen just the college change towards promoting a whole lot healthier lifestyle for students. Yeah, we're big kids. We should be able to make our own decisions, experience open-mindedness. But I would hope that after experiencing a little open-mindedness and realizing that some things that we do aren't as healthy for us, that we would look for the healthier option. I mean, isn't that the point of knowledge
that's
to
our
have
choice,
a better...
our choice.
Yeah, that is true. But I just think that, I mean, I've had so many family members die, really, from cancer and from things, and I just think that, I mean, there's so many other things to argue about and to really stand up for and be open-minded about. I mean, really, like, hookahs seem like a small thing to me to be really...
It's not the hookah, it's
my
the
freedom of
regulation.
speech.
It's the
principle that
regulating.
matters.
It's
The
the
principle that-
principles of Berry College. They're not consistent, and they should overlook exactly what they're trying to do. Because if they're going to say healthier, safer, they need to look at everything else.
Yeah, well, if people really want to smoke hookahs, they can go and smoke hookahs off campus. I mean, if people really want to do these things, they can still do them. I mean, you still have a choice. You just don't necessarily get to do it here, which isn't a huge big deal.
I guess I can see the other side too. I can see what you're saying, because like, Barry is obviously
Private
a dry
school.
campus. Well, but Barry's a dry campus, and we could argue the same thing. We could
In
say,
principle.
well, we
like
could,
any school.
I mean,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is, I see what you're saying, and we could argue the same way, like, oh, well, I should, if I want to, do this or that with alcohol, then I can. But, like I was saying before, it's hard to know where to draw the line. It's hard to know when to say, okay, enough is enough.
Just like we said, the Constitution, my rights only extend so far as my rights to injure another person, and I mean, like, that's the reason that we smoke outside. Because secondhand smoke really is a big issue, like people being exposed to it, and so necessarily, like, if we were to have hookahs in campus and you see this huge, like, black or not, like, the fume of smoke coming out of the door, and people walk by and like. Just smoking in general, to me, I mean, I'm glad you're quitting.
Hookahs are a lot different, though.
Barry, I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Barry's huge. Barry's a big campus. It's probably one of the biggest in the world, to be 100% about that.
Yeah,
that's a lot of land. That's a lot of land to not be able to smoke on. That's a lot of everything. For those people that do not want to inhale secondhand smoke, I just politely ask, say, look, you're smoking
Okay,
in my
there's
lawn.
so many bad
Smoking in my lawn,
environmentally
I can smell
unhealthy
it.
things out
Okay,
there that
okay.
smoking is just
Yeah.
another one of those
I'll get up and
unhealthy
Well,
things.
and again, hookah is different because it's a water vapor-based smoking apparatus, and it doesn't actually emit a lot of smoke. So basically, the smoke that is emitted is
air.
out of your mouth,
Vapor.
and it just dissipates in the air. Like, you could probably smoke it inside and not even set off an alarm. I'm not 100% sure about this, but
Not encouraging this.
Right.
Viking Fusion does not endorse this.
and
Because it's
again,
not actually burning it, it's just
Right.
vaporizing
It's
it. It's
vapor.
sending the heat.
and the only thing that's actually fire hazard is the coal.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, like, we're not going to toss it out or
Throw it in
around
some
anywhere.
hay.
There are other things that cause fire hazard. I mean,
Oh yeah,
there's
but I
plenty
do
of
think
things
I
that
also
fire
think
hazard.
it's a legitimate worry of the campus for it to be like drug paraphernalia. I mean, really, if it was allowed inside, I would think it would be a
The administration must think that we are the dumbest people in the world to go out in the middle
They're
of some
treating
lawn,
us like
put some
children.
pot in a hookah, and start smoking it with all the other students walking around.
Hey,
honestly,
I'll
they may
say
be
this, I know
potheads,
people
they may be
walking up
potheads, but
class
I don't think they're that
high
dumb.
is a stinking
They're just
high.
assuming that the hookah can be
Okay,
used
all
for
right,
drugs.
moving on.
Right. I mean, again,
People smoke on Berry campus. They do. I met them. And you'd be surprised how well they are at hiding it too.
Well, I mean, it's college.
Yeah.
Things happen all the time. And again, you have to look at the policy. Is it based on appearances again? Is it, misunderstanding? You said the thing about open-mindedness, about, are we going to lose potential students because they see that we have this ban and, they're saying, okay, they're obviously not very open to my culture. But let's go ahead and go. We have another clip from Yusuf about this same thing is, how do you think a hookah ban would stop people? Like, do you think a hookah ban would actually stop people from doing illegal drugs? So let's go ahead and throw it to Yusuf.
If people are going to do it, they're going to do it regardless. You make it harder on them, they're going to be more prone to do it and find more creative ways, and you're never going to win.